I'm here for my New Student Dialogue. I did the 50 years after immigration, race and ethnicity, still a problem, type of dialogue. Um, I didn't get as much out of the dialogue as I thought I was going to. I thought that more people were going to be more agitated or really start to show their true feelings about the topic we were discussing, because race is a really big topic. And everybody was really calm about it and said that racism doesn't exist, it's not around anymore. You know, they have black friends, white friends, which might be true, but when we heard the statistics and heard how many ethnically different people come to Clemson, it was obvious that race is not as prevalent around campus as we thought it was. I mean, I had thought that Clemson was a very diverse campus and there were lots of people there, but when I heard the statistics on how many black people, how many Asians, how many, different races actually come to our school, the numbers shocked me. It was very small, very few people came to Clemson that were of different race. I tried to talk as much as possible because I'm from the north, so I had a different perspective and grew up in a high school that had so many different races and so many foreign students and just insane amount of culture. So I tried to share my experiences as much as I possibly could. And there were other people in the group who definitely talked more than their fair share, but there were also people who were very quiet and silent. And I really felt like that hurt our discussion and I guess our dialogue. So I thought that was kind of a bummer. But I mean, I understand it's hard to talk about race in front of people, and a couple of there were maybe 3 black people and 1 Asian, and the rest of everybody was white. And the 3 black people, when they were asked, why did you choose this one? They said, I thought there were going to be more ethnically diverse people in this, discussion, and that we could all share experiences and stuff like that. And this one kid is really rude, and he said that this um this Asian girl was talking about how she doesn't like all the stereotypes that associate with Asians, and this kid was like, well, you get the good stereotypes. You're smart, family is really strict, lots of family values, all that stuff. And I decided to pipe in and say, but what if, she can't meet those expectations, and because I thought it was just really weird, bad of this kid to say that any stereotype is a good stereotype, because good or bad, it puts pressure on the people being stereotyped. I didn't really enjoy this kid. He was rude and not taking it very seriously, and he kind of hurt the dialogue. But I mean, you're bound to have those people in there, so there's not really much you can do about it. But it kind of was a bummer. Overall, I thought it was a good experience. I mean, maybe a different topic, because as we saw, Clemson is predominantly white, and it's hard to talk about race and ethnicity with a predominantly white campus. It's difficult to have these big topics, these controversial topics, and not get anywhere on them. Everybody was very calm, and me and my roommate were talking about them, and we had kind of wished that things had got a little bit more heated and people really broke out their shells and just talked about what they felt, and that really didn't happen. Everybody was cordial and nobody really wanted to say what they thought. And I know racism is really big here in the South, and for everybody to sit there and say, oh no, I don't see racism anywhere, it's fine, everybody's friends, kind of made me upset. It made me feel like everybody was just glancing over the issue, and I really feel like it's something that should be talked about. So, I mean, it was a nice idea, but I don't think this dialogue really accomplished what it set out to accomplish. But I mean, as a dialogue, I thought it was actually successful because we all had open minds. Nobody jumped down anybody's throat when something was said. Everybody was very polite and, well, this is my opinion, or this is how I feel. Nobody said, well, this is the way it is, and nobody debated, and I thought as a dialogue it went very well, and I didn't feel like I couldn't speak my mind in there, and I didn't feel um, weird about saying something that was out of the norm. So it was really comfortable to be able to know that what I said was gonna be accepted or be taken in with an open mind. So I thought that was really awesome. Let's see, what else? I think that having this as part of Library 100 is, I mean, it's kind of a good idea, I guess. But again, I just think the topic was, I kind of had wished I maybe had gone to a different one, but I thought this one was going to get heated, and it was like, I mean, you're in the South. I wanted to kind of get a Southern perspective because I have my Northern perspective, but I didn't really get that. But I mean, you know, it's not, people's fault that we're in there. But I mean, I thought that this was a cool experience. I had never heard of doing something like this until Library 100, and especially with the gay marriage ones in there. I mean, I actually think this is really good, especially with freshmen. Yeah, I'm a transfer student, but I mean, I know it's a lot of freshmen that take this class or have to do this. But I mean, it's really good for all new students. I guess I should say to take this and be a part of this. It was a good way to meet people, but also hear about some things you're gonna run into around campus. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've run into the issue of gay marriage, and how many times I've run into racism, and it's just, this was a really good idea. It's, a new atmosphere, a new place, it's bigger than probably what most people are used to, so it really makes sense to have this part of the required first semester of college. I think it's a really good idea. Um, I actually thought that talking about our social identity wheel, here's mine. I actually really liked this. Um, it definitely made me think, because I don't think about this stuff ever. I don't think about how my age affects me, or how me being a woman affects me when I walk into a room, and it's actually pretty big deal for some people. The color of their skin, it's something they wear on the sleeves of their shirts every day they wake up. They're like, I'm black, I'm Asian, I'm Puerto Rican, I'm all of these different things, and it's like, it affects them, and they are worried about how they're judged. And the same thing with me as being a woman. I mean, people stereotype me all the time. Oh, you're a bad driver. Oh, you should be in the kitchen. Oh, this, that, and the other. You get used to it, but it's still at the back of your mind. It's still, I'm a woman, here's my role. And it's really kind of crappy when sometimes you accidentally fall into that role. And like, I mean, people that are of lower class, like, they have to, like, oh, I'm wearing hand-me-down clothes. Or, I thought it was really interesting to make us, how much do you really think about all these different aspects of you a day? And then they had us go and talk to different people about it. And it was really interesting to see how much they thought of it compared to how much I thought about it, and then being different than me. And it was just like, some of the things they do also think about when they walk into a room just like I do, but some things they actually think about more, and I got to hear why they think about it more, why it affected them more. I actually thought that was a really good experience, and that was a really good idea to have us talk about how we carry things differently. So that was really awesome. I mean, overall it was a really good experience. Again, I wish I had gotten more heated, but I guess that could have been bad too. Definitely was awesome. If I get a chance, I'll probably do it again. It was an eye opener. I thought Clemson was a lot more diverse. I guess 50 years is not enough time. I mean, we're more diverse than we were 50 years ago, but I mean, it's 2012. We should have just as many other ethnicities as we do with white. White should not be the predominant race that comes to Clemson. And I was just shocked. So I'm definitely going to make an effort to kind of seek different ethnicities out and not just stick with all of the white friends I have. I was really shocked. I thought Clemson, a big campus, big university, had more cultures. It's kind of frustrating actually. So yeah, those are my thoughts on our student dialogue. Thought it was great. Thank you.